Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatia from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And this video is on the Common Sense Show with Dave Hodges, and the title is called A Snitch in Time. Very good stuff, because this is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on in the future, whether it be family, whether it be neighbors, whether it be friends. This is something that we're going to have to keep in mind because of the times that we're in. So we'll let this play. We're going to let this play all the way through, and then we'll get some scripture.
Be concerned. In the Soviet Union, parents were turned in often by their first and second grade kids because the kids were trained to snitch on their parents, and the kids wouldn't even know they were doing anything wrong. Next thing you know, mommy and daddy aren't in the house anymore, and someone else is raising them. And the East German Stasi did the same thing. And America has reached, and Canada too, we have all reached a level of snitchdom. A snitch in time doesn't prevent crime. Yet we see, and I want to make this clear, people that went into the congressional building and did the things they did deserve to be prosecuted. I am not on board with that whatsoever. People say, oh, Dave, you're just not a patriot. Yeah, I am. But I believe in following the rule of law as long as it's still somewhat in place. There could come a time when things get so bad the rule of law means nothing, but that's not the case now. And I'd like peaceful solutions to these problems, if at all possible. So my position is, yes, people of all groups who went into the congressional building should be prosecuted. Now, having said that, there's something else going on parallel to this. We're finding the kids of parents who did these things, they're being snitched on by their family members, often their own kids. Helena Duke, Robin Sweet have been quoted in the media saying, I'm disgusted by my parents' support of Donald Trump and what they did. What they did, I get. To turn your parent, I'm wondering this. If these people had done violent acts in the name of Joe Biden, would that have been okay? Because that's kind of how I read the opposite of what they're saying. And it really bothers me. Are we turning into a nation of Karens, a nation of snitches? Are we going to be the East German Stasi? Now, I don't honestly have a problem with facial recognition and people turning in people for doing what they did at the Capitol, because that was so dangerous to many people who were just innocently there. I mean, there are people who work there, folks, who you'd have nothing against, but they could have been harmed. So having said that, how do we feel about the snitch culture? But the biggest problem that the French underground had when they were resisting German rule was traitors from within. People who would trade their loyalties for a small amount of pittance. And I'm really worried we're kind of going to be the same kinds of people. No loyalty among patriots. Turning in your parents for saying this or that or the other. It's scary to think that families are so disjointed. Now, how did parents get so separated from their kids? I guarantee you that Helena Dubs and Robin Sweet probably go to liberal universities where they're indoctrinated not to believe in traditional values. God is dead. Capitalism is evil. And that we need to steal from the rich and give to the poor. Classic Marxism. And if they were raised in the family where the work ethic was honored, there's your conflict right there. And this is what we're seeing more and more and more. I understand kids and parents having divergent views, but to snitch on your own parents, to turn in your own kind, your own blood, wow. Scary, 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 scary. We're going down a negative path in so many ways. It is frightening. That's it for the Common Sense Show.
I'm going to go straight to the scripture. This is Matthew 10 and 34. It says, "Think not that I have come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword." So it's division. It says, "For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against the mother, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law." It says, and a man's foe shall be they of his own household. This is what you have going on here. As Dave said, you have an older generation of people who believe in working hard, trying to do the right thing, have some type of moral, some type of righteous moral compass about yourself, in the hopes that you will grow up to be a good person and repeat those same things that you've learned. But we're in a time where that's not so. All right, the moral compass of America is completely in the toilet. As it says in Revelation, as was it unclean? I believe it was called an unclean spirit and foul bird. Here's some Revelation. Yep. Revelation 18 and 2. And it says, "And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and cage of every unclean and hateful bird." So here in America, you got every morally corrupt thing thriving in this country. And as he said, it's a terrible thing when you have children that are turning in their parents just because they support Trump. Now, I really don't give a crap about that, more or less, but it's the principle of the whole thing. This is especially if there are people who, well, I shouldn't say people, but parents that by society's standards tried to do the right thing for you, sends you to school, make sure you had a good family upbringing, make sure you were clothed, make sure you were fed. But now you just got a generation full of demons. All right, you have to be a low piece of person to turn in your own parents. All right, that's why in 2 Timothy and 3, and these are the times that we're living in, when you got your own children snitching on you, this place is it's at the lowest point. It can't get any lower than this. This is why we're going to read in 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. It says, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents." Because we all know that the scripture clearly says that we shall honor our mother and father, so that our days shall be long on the earth. But this society has made it so that nobody honors their parents. There's no reverence. There's no type of respect or love whatsoever. I mean, in this day and age, you hear the children, and excuse my French, you hear children telling their parents to shut the fuck up. It's like, whoa. It's like, when did that become cool? All right, this is Exodus 20 and 12. And it says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee. And you know what? Let's look up that word honor. Exodus 20. Let's look up that word honor. And there's another scripture that says, but I can't remember where it was, about how why you need to honor your parents, because they gave birth to you and they nursed you while you were in the womb. So how can you repay them? I can't think of the scripture right now. It would probably take me too long to get. But nonetheless, honor in the Hebrew, kabod.
Strong's H3513. Kavad. Kavad. Second entry. Kaved. Kaved.
All right. It says, yes, to be made heavy, be honored, enjoy honor, be made abundant, to get oneself glory or honor, gain glory. You go into the Strong's definition. It says glorify, make glorious, great, honorable, noble, prevail, promote, be rich. So honored, basically to have a heavy sense of respect and dignity for your parents. This is what the Lord said, that children need to honor their parents in such a fashion. But we're at a time where this is not so, as it continues to say, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection. Because you can't say that you love your parents and you're going to turn them in where now they're going to suffer jail time, all because you got a different point of view and you don't feel like this is the right path that the world should follow. You don't believe your parents are doing the right thing and have the ideas that you have, so they got to go to jail. Okay, it says truce breakers, false accusers. Right? Lying on people. It says incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors. Like Dave said, where's the loyalty? Don't we have a saying, blood is thicker than water? Not in this day and age. In this day and age, family don't mean anything. Kids lying on their parents, setting them up to go to jail, backstabbing each other to get inheritance money. Man, this hey, like the scripture said, man, Babylon would destroy us with the sword destruction, man. We are completely destroyed in this place. That's why the scripture also says that we need to come up out of this place. I believe it's the same thing. I was going to get it, but that's okay. All right. That's why the scripture says to come out of this place. It's sorely polluted and it will destroy you. And this place has destroyed people. Not only Jake, but the heathen alike. Never in this time in history have you seen so much just lack of any type of character and kindness. That's why the scripture says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right. And it says, heady, high-minded, prideful, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High. And this is the mindset of many of the youth here. See, these people that are in like they're from 0 to 25, they have nothing to compare to. All they see is this. But if you were born in like the 90s, at the very latest, all right, but specifically like the 80s and back, you have something to compare in the sense that you know that society was not always like this. You had a lot of bad things going, but it was nothing to where it is that we see in this day and age. Like they said, we basically are going to have a generation of snitches. And the Lord said he don't like people like that, as it says, and I'll probably close out on this one. It says, there be 6 things. That's in Proverbs 6, I believe. Let me just go on just 6 things. Yep. Proverbs 6 and 16, it says, these 6 things doth Yahweh hate, yea, 7 are an abomination to him. It says, a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood. It says, a heart, a mind that deviseth wicked imaginations, setting up your parents and snitching on them to go to jail, especially if they done right by you. That's just wicked. That's on a whole nother level of wicked. And it says, feet that be swift in running to mischief. It says, a false witness that speaketh lies, and him that soweth discord among brethren. Because you better believe, if you're a child and you snitch on your parent and they go to jail, do you know how much that's going to crush the family structure? Nobody will trust you. Nobody will want to be around you. Because they would be like, don't hang around. That dude set his own mom up. He set his own dad up. They can't come here. And see, stuff like this is going to cause a huge conflict. And don't be surprised when this fully starts taking effect that a lot of bodies are going to be coming up lifeless. So this will definitely be something to take a look at. So I hope you all are edified. Until the next time, we're going to say shalom.